Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. We are the team number five, and we're going to talk about soil like a natural resource. Well, everyone here know that the soil is one of the most important natural resources that the humans have, and that is because that we use the soil for everything in our life. Maybe we don't be paying a lot of attention in that case, but we use it. And let's go to talk about how we use the soil in our life. Well, we know that in the planet we have the 30% is soil and the other 70% is water, oceans, seas. And for that reason, we have to preserve the soil. But for start to preserve the soil, we have to understand what are the characteristics and what contains the soil. Well, the soil have a general composition that is 25% water, 25% air, 45% minerals, and 5% organic material or humus that we know. Well, let's talk more about the specific characteristics of the material that contains the soil. Because the soil particles are very small, we can find water, that I said before, and the water stays in the soil components. The water provides humidity to the plants or trees. For that reason, it's important when rains, the soil catch the water and maintains. Well, other important component that the soil have is the air. Maybe you ask why the soil have air. That is something interesting because, as I said before, the soil particles are very small that can contain air that help to maintain the microorganisms and the abiotic elements of the soil. For example, worms and other insects that help to have adequate medium to the soil. Well, let's talk about minerals and organic matter or humus. The minerals are one of the most important components of the soil. We can find by rocks or other elements, and the minerals are important because provide nutrients to plants or trees. We have two types of nutrients that are macronutrients and micronutrients. And in the mineral we can find there are a lot of nutrients that the plant or trees need. And we use the minerals too of the soil for the technology for building buildings. For example, the wooden construction material that we use for making buildings and house are related to the same. And other important component of the soil is the organic material or the humus. The organic is the less part of the soil because it's only the 5%, but contains a lot of components to help to have adequate medium for microorganisms in the soil, for example, for the worms, and gives the fertility of the soil. Something that we have to say is the soil can classify in two ways. That is for the size of the texture of the component of the soil, because every soil is different. For example, the soil that we have here in Tabasco is different to the soil of Spain of the Sahara Desert, and the depends of the character of soil we can make more things in the soil. For example, the agriculture is more representable in soil that we have more organic material. That is the importance of the soil. Well, let's start with the other part of the presentation that they are the horizons that we find in the soil. Thank you very much.
Well, I will talk about soil horizons. If you look in a soil pit or on a roadside cut, you will see various layers in the soil. These layers are called soil horizons. The arrangement of these horizons in a soil is known as a soil profile. Soil scientists, who are also called pedologists, observe and describe soil profiles and soil horizons to classify and interpret the soil for various uses. Soil horizons differ in a number of easily seen soil properties such as color, texture, and soil color and texture. Other properties are less visible properties such as chemical and minerals content. Well, we can see the different horizons in the soil. First, the first horizon is designed for the letter O, and we have the different types of life. For example, microorganisms and flowers and bugs. And these there are organic material. In the next horizon is designed for the letter A, and the horizon designed for the letter E. We have a lot of roots for trees, and in the horizons for the letter E and B, sometimes we find water, and the next horizon of the letter C, his name is parent material, and in this horizon there aren't life or microorganisms, and there are we have found different.
Now I'm going to talk about the use of the soil. The soil provides so much to use for us. We have food, shelter, and clothing all become of soil. We have food for the soul. We are able to eat because we grow and harvest food from the soil. We build a house using some particulars that become for the concrete, using the foundation of walls or a house, wood, trees grow in the soil. Many medicines and medical plants come from the soil that is used in the chemistry extreme. For example, the antibiotic, the stupid mysic was developed for the plant microorganisms.
Okay, I will talk about the recommendations. For the care of the soil, we need to consider some recommendations. In this case, we can mention 6 recommendations. The first is forest protection. It's a branch of forestry concern with a preservation of a forest and the control of damage. Not to farming. Okay, the ganadery also affects the soil when we don't acquire the necessary techniques in the farming. For this reason, it's important the farming. And the third recommendation is buffer strips. Buffer strips are areas that is maintained in constant vegetation for the control of the water, soil, and wind quality. Fewer concrete surface. This is used in many cases because it's very important for the care of the soil, because the concrete, its composition, it's adequate for use in the soil. And windbreak areas, these are areas which are used for the care of the soil through the wind. and it's very important for the control of the erosion of the soil. And plant trees, these are very interesting because the trees help to provide oxygen and life to the human beings and other organisms. In conclusion, we can say that the soil is a natural resource indispensable for the human beings, and through the soil we can acquire some nutrients and some food, medicine, and animals that helps to maintain an adequate and equilibrated ecosystem.